Want to see how I made this awesome retro spy gadget? Cool! I can tell you that. Oh, what's that? Oh. You're gonna have to consult a doctor about that. The new 007 movie is finally coming out. I'm super excited about it. Plus, I have a box of old film equipment just gathering dust. Why not try to make a spy movie gadget prop out of all that stuff? I enjoyed making that sci-fi hand grenade a while back, and I thought this might be a fun build at my second ever attempt at prop making. Here's what I had just laying around. The aluminum dome to a missing work light, one of those cheap little mini tripods that I'm sure we all have an assortment of, the shock mount to a shotgun microphone, and the shotgun microphone. As you can see, it has had better days. This is, or was, an Asden SGM-1X. I loved it. Loved it to pieces, as it seems. So once I found all that stuff, I could see where I needed to go for this project. First, I tried taping up the light dome. I wanted to leave a silver ring around the whole thing, but was having trouble negotiating the curves. Instead, I opted to leave the neck of the dome silver and put a vertical stripe down the top for some style instead of painting the whole thing matte black. Then it was time to add the first coat. After that dried, I put on a second coat and decided to try to jazz up that stripe a little bit more. It was around then I'd had the idea to make the receiver for the surveillance gadget. It felt incomplete without that. I found a lid to an old spray paint can that I thought I could make the main piece of the receiver out of, but I really wanted to find an antenna or something to really give it that retro look. Finding nothing at the house, I ran to the store, could not find an antenna anywhere, not even on a cheap toy or anything, but I did come away with a tire pressure gauge and this keychain LED light. Now at this point, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do with the LED light, but I thought it would be good to have just in case. The total combined for these two items was less than $3. This is the only money I spent during this entire project. Going to work on the receiver, I scoured the junk drawer and found some pieces that fit perfectly over the top of that spray paint lid. Then there was this piece to an old shower handle knob that seemed to be made for attaching to this tire pressure gauge. I mean, seriously? This changed everything because it gave me an avenue to fit the antenna inside the spray paint lid. At that point, it was about painting everything so that the colors matched. The receiver was drying, so I turned my attention to what I thought was going to be the easy part of this build in attaching the microphone and the dome. After some trial and error, I made what I thought was a groundbreaking discovery. The threads that allow you to attach the dome to its light fixture actually screw right off. The threads then fit like a glove right onto the front of the shock mount. I couldn't believe it. I haven't measured anything so far and things are really coming together. I glued them together and found a dome to a different work light to test it out. Wow. As for the dome that I painted, it was time to remove the tape to see how good or bad that I did. I would say that I definitely could have done better. The tops and the bottoms of the lines are a little bit wonky, but the silver neck came out really nice. Not terrible. I think it would work from a distance. Finally, it was all starting to come together. I was resigned at this point to not using that LED light that I picked up, assembling everything else, and calling it a day. Then I noticed something on the table by the door. It was a little button with no back from my friend Robbie at Naren Aerial Photography. Check out his stuff on socials. The button covered up the LED lights perfectly, but still allowed for the light to be activated. Doing so caused a little red glowing ring around the edge, and I knew that I had to figure out a way to attach it to the gadget. Luckily, the LED light matched the size of the shock mount pretty much exactly. But this didn't allow for the microphone to fit through the back of the shock mount, which threw everything off balance. Not to fear, I found some extra rubber feet for the tripod that I bought a while back. The Magnus VT350. One of those fits snugly right onto the back of the microphone, which would allow the LED to be placed on the back of that. And that's pretty much it. I did scour the junk drawer one last time and found a doorstop. I harvested the rubber tip from that and added it to the tire pressure gauge, which is of course my receiver antenna, and made it look more like an antenna. Perfect. Oh, yeah. What's that? Oh, you want to know how it works? I'm glad you asked. This surveillance device can be used handheld or remotely from up to 1,000 feet. It has two modes, long range and short range. Pressing the button a third time will activate the explosive self-destruct mechanism. Good luck, agents. Hey, in the comments, let me know what your favorite 007 gadget is. The first one that's coming to my mind is the laser watch from GoldenEye. I thought that was just totally badass. That's gonna do it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.